Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick my gun in customization. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below, and I pick one of the top-rated comments for the next episode. Today's top comment comes from Tristan Erno. He says, the cookie cutter, ACW-R, Cobra RDS compensator, stubby grip, green laser sight, 93R Delta RDS suppressor, tac light, support class, indirect fire, M224 mortar, ammo box. This loadout centers around the ACW-R, or as I like to call it, the cookie cutter. And on my way to unlocking these attachments, I actually found some combinations with this gun that I really liked. I don't know if I preferred them to the ultimate loadout, but I was certainly getting some nice kill streaks with them. This is before I had any sort of barrel attachments, and I was running with the Ergo Grip, which really sort of facilitated a faster running gun style. And I will say the ACW-R is definitely a medium to closer range weapon. It doesn't really have the accuracy to do too well at longer ranges, and its rate of fire and reload speed is absolutely perfect for close quarter engagements. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite close quarter guns. The only reason why I haven't had a lot of unlocks for it yet is because I thought it was too good. I didn't want to keep focusing on some of the best guns in the game. I wanted to try and explore some of the lesser known weapons first. Now let's explore the stats of the ACW-R and why it is just such a darn good weapon for close quarter combat. Here on the stats from Synthic.com, you'll see that it has an 880 round per minute rate of fire. That's almost as good as the MTAR's 900 rounds per minute. This makes it incredibly lethal in close quarters. It's got that top damage of 25, which is on par with assault rifles. So again, you're in closer to medium range. Assault rifles aren't going to have any sort of benefit over this weapon. Its minimum damage is slightly less than assault rifles, and that's where the gun starts to fall off, is towards longer range engagements. And the aiming down sight accuracy is 0.3, which is a little bit less than your average assault rifle. So again, not the greatest for longer, medium to long range combat. You want to stay medium to close range. And the hip fire with the laser sight on here is just perfect. I didn't get the green laser sight, I'm still running the red laser sight, but it's awesome for close quarters. You can aim down sights, you can choose not to aim down sights. Whichever way you choose, you're probably still going to take down your opponent before they're able to take you down. One of the cool upgrades of the ACW-R from Battlefield 3, aside from just getting a better weapon damage model in general, is an extended magazine. In Battlefield 3, for some reason, they had a gimped magazine. It made no sense at all because this thing essentially uses M4 mags, so there's no real reason to have a smaller magazine for it. It was just oddly balanced in BF3. It has really been upgraded for Battlefield 4, although I will say the accuracy at range has probably come down a little bit. You could be very precise with the ACW-R in BF3 doing tap firing and burst firing. In Battlefield 4 you can definitely tap fire, but getting follow-up shots in small bursts is much more difficult at long range. So I can tap fire and just do one shot at a time and take down targets at long range fairly successfully, but small bursts, you're gonna just land a lot less of your shots. Now here's the crazy thing with the ACW-R. It's got a 1.83 second short reload and a 2.37 second long reload. What other guns that shoot 880 rounds per minute have a reload of 1.83? I mean, that's crazy low. The answer is none. There isn't a single gun in the game with this kind of damage output that reloads so quickly. That's what makes it so darn effective in close quarter combat, so you can just waste people completely, and if they have somebody behind them following up, their one chance to get at you is during your reload. Well, they got 1.83 seconds to make their move and finish you off before you have a new mag in the gun and you're ready to take them down. And the interesting thing about this loadout is that I'm running support class. I was a little bit skeptical about this at first because, you know, having a med pack is so freaking helpful in close quarter combat, but being able to just liberally fire the ACW-R because it's not very good at longer ranges, a lot of these situations I would either conserve my ammo or have to burn through a full mag to take down one guy at long range, which would be a total waste of my ammo and I would run out of bullets pretty quickly. But with the support loadout, I'm just dropping ammo boxes like crazy. Because of the specific field upgrades that we have, I can now drop 2 ammo boxes at a time, which makes it a great loadout to be on the front lines and throw down tons of ammo for your squad mates or just your teammates. And because the assault class and med packs are so popular, if you play in intelligently. Usually you can find a med box nearby that will bring you back up to full health. And although you can't plop them at every single corner you want to engage into a firefight, if you do survive your current firefight, you can always back up a little bit and usually find a med box. The 93R that I'm using here is an excellent sidearm. It's one of my favorite in the game. I don't know if I would recommend using a really good close quarter sidearm with a really good close quarter primary weapon. Usually I like to mix it up a little bit. However, because the long range pistols aren't yet balanced properly in this game, that would be the Rex and the Magnum, you kind of have to rely on other pistols. And so the 93R certainly is a great sidearm to have, and so if you're going full out close quarters, then that's the way you want to run this loadout. I am really looking forward to the fire delay being reduced in the upcoming patches, and I can't wait to see if the Magnum and Rex are going to be competitive pistols. Now, as for using things like the Mortar, certainly Team Deathmatch or Domination are not the ideal places to use them. They are nice for getting snipers off of rooftops and stuff like that, but preferably you would want to use them in, say, a rush game mode or even Conquest if it's congested enough. Rush is perfect because if you're on the attacking team, you can absolutely get the campers out of their little hidey holes with a Mortar. And if you're on the defending team, well, there's nothing like putting down tons of mortar fire to really dampen the mood of the attackers. Now, how about the specific attachments that we're running on the ACW-R? We have the compensator, and the ACW-R does have decent side-to-side recoil, and the compensator is supposed to reduce that a bit. And then we have the stubby grip, which reduces the bullet bloom. So basically, you should be getting more accurate clusters of shots, so better grouping. Unfortunately, the differences between the attachments on the ACW-R are very minuscule. I don't think this gun can really have anything done to it to make it really accurate and effective at longer ranges. The best you can do is try and help its grouping for medium to closer ranges. Personally, I don't think the stubby grip is all that beneficial with the ACW-R. I was actually preferring the angled foregrip when I was testing it out. The compensator is very hard to tell if it's actually making a difference or not. Statistically, it looks like it should be, so if you want to try and improve your groupings as much as possible, maybe angled foregrip, maybe compensator. Again, it's very hard to tell with this weapon, and if you really want to analyze the statistics and accuracy plots, I recommend going to simthic.com and checking out the accuracy plots for the ACW-R. You'll see what I'm talking about, and that it's very hard to try and determine which attachments are going to give you the best overall grouping for this weapon. An interesting thing to consider is the Ergo Grip for this weapon. Because this gun is so good at close quarter combat, chances are you're going to be moving around a bit when you're actually shooting and taking down your targets. Standing still is very useful for taking out people at medium to longer ranges, but in those close quarter engagements, chances are you want to add a little bit of movement to your combat to make yourself a harder target to hit. Side strafing back and forth can be very helpful, and if this is your playstyle and this is the way that you think you're going to be playing with the ACW-R, then definitely go with the Ergo Grip, as that's going to improve your accuracy while on the move. One thing I did notice though is because the ACW-R is such a great weapon for close quarters, but it lacks pretty significantly at medium to long range. A lot of these situations, especially on Gold Mud here, which is really catered towards medium to longer ranges, I was hoping that I would have the AK-5C, or feeling like I really wanted to play with the AK-5C, just because it's such an accurate weapon. So ACW-R, great gun if you pick it for the appropriate maps, and that pretty much goes for most of the weapons in Battlefield. Picking a good gun for your playstyle and the map is really important, and even if you like to play in close quarters, not all maps will facilitate that, and especially on Gold Mud, after a lot of the buildings have been destroyed, the range increases dramatically. So at the beginning of the round I was having a great time. Towards the end of the round it became much more difficult to get in close quarter and really let the weapon shine. Sadly, I wasn't able to actually unlock the Cobra sight, so I was just using the red dot the whole time. Ultimately, I don't think it really made a big difference in how the loadout played. That pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Loadout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave your comments down below letting me know what kind of gun and accessories you'd like me to run with for next week's episode, and remember to upvote those comments that you would really like to see. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.